Hi everyone, this is Snooks. Do you know what's stopping most couples from having a great or phenomenal marriage? It's settling for one that's good or just okay.
That's why we're inviting you to go to marriedintocrazy.com to watch our free webinar and then register for our marriage communication workshop at the end of the month. It's a free workshop that'll give you valuable tools to understand and communicate on a whole other level with your spouse or loved one.
So register today and let us be an ally for your marriage. The link will be in the show notes. Now let's get ready for the podcast. I make sure that I'm representing my husband. My husband makes sure that he's representing me. We're not in any compromising positions or anything like that because
Except when we're in Las Vegas. There's lots of compromising positions in Las Vegas.
Okay, you see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engines.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point, you realized you were married into crazy.
And that's what our podcast is all about. We offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as we unpack this crazy thing called marriage.
So sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to episode 113 of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. I'm Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And we're back once again. And we thank each and every one of you, as always, for coming back and hanging out with us on the podcast. You have lots of choices, but we're happy that you chose to hang out with us, with this married couple that's been around for 25 years together as a couple, going on 24 years of marriage. So,
wow.
We always like to talk about what's going on with us before we jump into the topic. But just so you know what today is.
Today is November 3rd. It is voting day.
That it is. So it's Election Tuesday. And we've specifically waited to this day to ask you, did you vote for your marriage? And we're not talking about.
She's going to say, who'd you vote for?
No, that's totally up to you. And by the time you hear this, we will have some results. I have no idea what's going on. Haven't watched anything all day long because I purposely wanted to wait till later. But before we even go there, talking about, the idea, the concept of voting for your marriage. For us, I voted for our marriage 24 years ago.
I did too.
So funny. She keeps putting her face in front of the microphone.
Oh, I know, huh?
I did too. Yes. Anyway.
That's funny.
Well, one thing that we really wanted to focus on was our trip. We just got back from Las Vegas.
Last week on Friday. So we just took a few days off. We've been running, as a lot of people have. And we just decided, you know what? We need to vote for our sanity. And we went to Vegas. And I know people are like, okay, Vegas? That doesn't sound like rest and relaxation. But we didn't stay at like the casino. We stayed at one of the Hilton properties, which is just a regular casino. I'm sorry, not a casino, but regular
hotel.
Good
it's
Lord.
Like a resort without the spa. As a matter of fact, all the spas are shut down. Let me tell you the story. So when we had an opportunity to select the spot to stay at, we made our choice based on
the spa.
At no point did anybody say, oh, the spas are all closed. And I said, oh, this one has a spa. Yes, that one has a spa. The other location doesn't have a spa. Was basically all they told us. And so we went ahead and chose that location. Mm-hmm. Once we check in, I'm like, oh, okay, so can I get something with the spa amenities, so a menu, whatever? Like, oh, no, it's closed.
Not only is it closed, but the store that was downstairs that's attached to it, the market, that's closed. And I thought there was
the
like
restaurant
a restaurant.
Was closed.
Yeah, that's closed. And the pool was open, for 3 hours on Wednesday or something?
Oh, no. At this particular hotel, the pool was closed.
Oh, I thought it was
open. The gym was open for 3 hours.
Okay, I knew something was open. So all of those things, everything's shut down. What's going on outside? Construction, as always is in Vegas. Oh, well, there's a place right across the street. You can go eat there, but they're only open till what, 5?
No.
Or 2?
2 o'clock.
Yeah. So
they're open till
like,
mind you, it was like 12:30 when they were telling us this.
Yeah, it was almost 1 o'clock. So it was just a big old mess. So we get to the room and totally disappointed. only because it was not the room that I thought it was going to be. I almost hit the roof. I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. Not nice room, but just when you have something in your head, well, it was okay.
Define nice.
It wasn't
No,
nasty.
it wasn't. No, it was
It was just
clean.
okay. It was okay. It was nice. I
It
mean,
was an
it was
average
okay.
hotel
It was
room.
okay. You're right. You're right. It's okay. And so I'm thinking, like I said, I'm expecting this room with the big jet tub, and I bought my bath stuff and everything. I go in the bathroom. I'm like, this little regular tub. I mean, yeah, you could do a bath bomb in there, but no. I'm like, where's the jacuzzi tub? So I'm sitting there. I'm disgusted. And Lovey, bless his heart, he just like, you know what? He called them and he told them, he was like, okay, first of all, they didn't tell us this. They didn't tell us that. We were not informed of any of these things. We got this little tiny kitchen. We were thinking that we had a
Right. They
bigger,
said we had a full-on kitchenette.
yeah,
Like we're going to
full
be able to
kitchen.
cook there, have a
He goes,
refrigerator.
no, you have a kitchenette.
The kitchenette was a toaster oven,
Yeah.
a microwave, and a little
Well,
tiny
I
coffee
mean, that
machine.
is a kitchenette though.
Oh, well, anyway.
Kitchenette.
But I'm like, where's the jacuzzi tub? Where's all these things that we had talked
Yeah.
about? Well, who did you
No.
speak to? I don't know who I spoke to 8-9 months ago
Right.
when I said that we decided we were going to do this. I have no idea what the person's name is. And so the lady's like, well, I'm so sorry, sir. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. I'm a longtime Hilton person, and I could go down the street, stay at a Hilton Garden Inn, and have better amenities.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
So what's stopping me from just leaving this, demanding a refund, and going to Hilton Garden Inn? Because this is ridiculous. I go, there's got to be something that you can do for us. And I'm not trying to be pushy. I'm just saying that this is not as billed, and it is extremely difficult. Mind you, as I'm saying this to her, I'm also on TripAdvisor typing up.
Hotels or
Oh,
whatever.
I'm on TripAdvisor leaving a review.
Oh, I thought you were doing
I
hotels.
was that heated because I usually don't do that kind of stuff, but I was like, nah, I got to say something. So the lady was really nice. She worked with us, and she's like, oh well, we can, let me talk to my supervisor and see if maybe we can get you into another room. Because I asked, can you put us in the room that we thought we were
That we were
getting in?
supposed to be getting. And so she ended up coming back. I'm sorry. She ended up coming back and she said, yes, they could. But then, that only solved one problem with the jacuzzi tub. That didn't solve the problem or the challenge as far as like food and that kind of thing. So Lovey's like, well, why don't you just move us to your other property? Because that's what we want to do. And so she's like, okay, I can see if I can get it approved, blah, 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 whatever. And sure enough,
Wait. But before we go there, so I even asked, like, okay, so what about this? Is there a shuttle to go to the other property, the other
oh,
resort?
no.
Oh no, that's closed. I'm like, wait. Your van that you guys own, the prop to go to your other property is we can't ride that. Oh no, you have to go there at your own expense.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
So
So then that's when I started typing in over at TripAdvisor.
so we ended up going over to the Alara.
Yeah, the Alara, which is on the
Ilara.
strip,
Yeah. A little
kind
bit,
of.
yeah, kind of. But anyway, I never really paid attention to that place. Nice place.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's
Nice
absolutely
place.
gorgeous.
And it's connected to the Mile High Mall or something like that. Because when we go in,
Miracle Mile.
oh, he was on my mind.
She was like, oh yeah, because we was on that Mile High. Yeah. I'm glad that's
so
on your mind,
funny.
girl.
No,
And we
whatever.
probably sound like we're bougie, but no, it's not that. Look, we've stayed in some hotels that have been absolutely crazy.
But I mean, when you say this is what you're getting and this is what the amenities are, I'm looking forward to that. That was the purpose of us
Amen.
going, just to relax.
Amen.
And so we ended up going over to the different hotel, and that worked out so much better because it was connected to the mall, number one, and then there were food places all
Lots of
around.
food places all around.
But we
Easy to
ended up,
walk to all the other
oh yeah, we
locations,
walked except
restaurants.
for we took a Uber one night.
One night, that's it. The rest of the time we walked. And here's the thing. We talk about your flight assessment or the disc assessment. We talk about the different personality traits and letting people lead with their strengths. And this is a perfect example of where, you know, two things. A, I should have let Snooks handle the accommodations to start off because she would have asked a
I
bunch of
would have
questions
asked if the spa was
that I
open.
didn't think to ask. They told me there was a spa. I never bothered to ask. Is it open? Is it being affected by COVID? Oh, what about the rest of the hotel or the rest of the hotel? Is the restaurant in the hotel open? Is, restaurants outside the hotel, do they stay open past 2 p.m.? Those kinds of things. She might not have asked that. But anyways, but there's a lot of questions she would have asked that I didn't. But when it came time to really make some decisions and be on the spot and maybe be a little bit more, for lack of a better word, confrontational. I don't think of myself as being negative confrontational, but I was definitely very assertive in getting us
Mhm.
uh, getting our amenities switched over to another facility.
Yeah, I agree with that. And sorry again. One thing I will say about Levy, and it's not the only thing that I will say about him, when it comes to those situations, we do so much better when he does that, when he takes over as far as that's concerned. Making sure that he calls it being confrontational. I don't see it as being confrontational because I would have been confrontational.
True, there's a
I would have
difference.
just went off because I would have been upset. But Levy, he's like, okay, no. Whenever there's something that needs to be changed, he knows how to dive in his pilot or whatever and just be it's assertive. Maybe he was like, okay, this is what I want and this is what I'm expecting. And the tone of voice that in which he said it was like, and there will be no argument about it. I'm not going to accept anything less. We're not going to, okay. And if you can't, then you get me to someone who can. Whereas me, I would have probably went
She would
off.
have cussed somebody
I
out,
would have cussed
and
them
I would
out.
have been spending the rest of the time talking, I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry for
gosh.
my wife's.
Yeah, because Lovey has there have been times when he's just like, let me handle it.
I'm
And
like,
I'm
put the
like,
blade away, Snooks. Just don't cut the poor lady. Not quite that bad. But okay, these are the things that we talk about in our workshop, which by the way, we just had our workshop. So as
it
soon as
was
we get back from
phenomenal. It was
Vegas,
great.
we ended up having
Hmm.
our workshop for the month of October.
It was great.
Listen, folks, it's a free workshop and you will have a phenomenal time
Hmm.
in discussing, learning more, about what it means to be crazy, because we do break it down as far as what it means, every letter in the acronym for crazy. But then we also go into these personality traits. And we had people from, let's see, Tennessee, Ohio, California, Colorado. I'm sure I'm missing something, but
I think you said Chicago too or something. I don't know.
oh yeah, and I think Illinois.
Or
And
something like
so
that. Yeah.
there were people from all over the United States that were represented, and it was so much fun. It was great interaction. We learned from each other.
Hmm.
People are chiming in. We make it fun. We give out prizes, the whole 9 yards, and it's
Yeah.
all about helping everybody get better when it comes to their communication.
Mhm.
There were single people, there were married people,
Yeah.
there were people that were in a relationship but weren't quite there yet as far as making the commitment to get married. But everyone's sharing nuggets and learning from the things that we've gone through. And so look, there's going to be another one on November 28th. We do it at the end of every single month. So go to marriedintocrazy.com and register. You're going to see there, you deserve a 5-star marriage, right? A 5-star rated marriage. Click on that. There's a quick little webinar right there that's free. Get another little added bonus on there, and then you'll be able to register for the workshop. Register.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. We really do have a lot of fun, and everyone enjoys it. Like Lovey said, it's very interactive, and it's not just for you to just sit there and just look at us or we stare at you. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy them. So
It is. And so make sure that you, since we threw that out there, make sure you go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review about today's podcast and every other one, all the other 112 that I know that you're going to listen to. So let's get into this. So today is Election Tuesday. There, as we speak right now, there is an election taking place,
mhm.
a local election that each and every one of you hopefully are participating in, and your local magistrate, so to speak, and choosing some of the propositions, the things that are affecting your community. There's a national election that's, excuse me, taking place as well. And it doesn't matter if you sit on the left or if you sit on the right. What does matter is that you exercise your American right to vote. And we are talking about your right to vote for your relationship as well. 24 years ago, almost 24 years ago, I voted for her. I voted for Snooks.
Mm.
There was a proposition on the table that said, do you want to be with the same person for the rest of your God given life? And I punched the button that said yes. That didn't sound so good, but
No, it did.
it didn't
It
sound
did
all that
not.
great. But there's things that you have to actually take into consideration when you're thinking about your marriage.
So, and let me just jump in here right quick. When we talk about because we're gonna use the theme about voting, right?
Mhm.
So when you decide to vote for a proposition, you decide to vote for the next president, the governor, whomever, your local townspeople,
School board, all that.
all that, you know, when you, and I'm saying, you know, a lot, I'm sorry, but when you make the decision that, okay, I'm going to vote, what, you don't just wait till, hopefully you don't just wait till you get your ballot, or you go there to the polling place to just start just writing in stuff, circling this one or coloring in the circle. Hopefully you've done your research on who they were and what they were about, what they stand for, what is it that they want to achieve in this office. And in the same way, maybe not as technical, but maybe should be, we should be doing that. Hopefully you've done that with your spouse. So when Lovey and I got together, it wasn't just he saw me. Well, it was that for him. He saw me.
It was that.
No.
Teeth and boobs.
What? Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
But he saw me, and though he might have thought, oh, okay, there's something about her, but he didn't really get to know who I was to make sure that he wanted to push that button or circle and fill in the circle for me. It wasn't until he did his research and he found out what I was about and what I wanted to accomplish, what it is that I stood for, what my values were, that he said, "Okay, this is someone that I feel like I could rock with." You know, because basically, when you vote for something or for whoever, you're like, I could probably rock with them. That's kind of what
that's exactly what it
you
was.
know.
Because I looked at it and said, girl, I could rock with you. It was something like that.
I don't want to talk no more.
No, but she's got a valid point.
Thank you.
So, what are you doing to find the right candidate?
Hmm.
Because there's so many candidates that look, you look to your left, you look to your right. There's a guy, there's a girl. There's so many people that are out there that you could vote for, so to speak. But what are the traits of a good candidate? What do you look for in that candidate you want to vote for and choose and re-vote for and re-elect every single day? We don't wait every 4 years to re-elect who we're going to marry. We re-elect that person on a daily basis, or at least we should be.
Well, not just we elect who we're going to marry, but every single day we're re-electing to be in to stay in that marriage, to stay in. Hopefully, we're staying intentional. Hopefully, we're making sure that we're holding them accountable too, because that's another thing that in an election or when you vote for someone in office, there's accountability that comes that plays a part of it. And so they need to, you said you were going to do this. Okay.
Right.
So now I'm going to hold you accountable for that. You have to answer. There's what is that called?
Checks and balances.
Checks and balances.
But see,
Okay.
there's also a whole lot of so far. There's two things that came to mind. We talked about on your ballot. There's propositions. What do they call it when you back in the day? They used to say, "Okay, so did you proposition her, or did he proposition you?" And look up the word. And when you say, "Did you get proposition?" means did you ask her out? Did he ask you to sleep with him? Did you get that proposition? Well, again, same thing. There is a proposition on the ballot when you meet somebody, and the proposition is this somebody that you want to spend time with? But even then, when you're talking about researching and looking at all the different traits, they talk about going out and campaigning for your election.
Mm.
Your campaigning in a relationship is I'm trying to show it's that honeymoon phase, right? I'm trying to show you all my good stuff. You put on, you smell good, right? You put on the cologne or your perfume. You dress a certain way. You act a certain way. The car is never dirty. You make sure that that's your campaigning.
You always got money.
You always got some money. I'm not saying it's your money. The clothes you might be wearing might belong to your boy. I don't know. But it's one of those things where you are campaigning. So you're putting forth your best foot, right? Mm-hmm. And you're saying all the things that you want to do. If you elect me as your boyfriend, if you elect me as your girlfriend, these are the things I'm going to do to really support the constituency. I'm going to take care of you, girl. I'm going to actually buy you things. I'm going to take you places. I'm going to do all these things for you. But we got to make sure that the proposition doesn't end with a horrible candidate and a bunch of lies during the campaign. Wait a minute. I thought you said you was going to make sure my hair was always done.
Right.
Well, that's when we were dating, but
I'm in here now.
right? I got you
I ain't
now.
got to say nothing. I ain't got to do nothing. But it's like you said though, as with candidates or those that have been elected, well, unless I guess you're Congress because you just get
Oh yeah,
one.
we ain't even gonna go
Yeah,
there because you
okay.
get in, you don't ever
So,
leave.
but all
And
these
that could
other
be some
places,
marriages.
well, there's that. But I mean, you have to be reelected. You know, you don't just get to stay. You have to be reelected. So the time to do what you said you were going to do would be the whole time, the whole 3 years, and don't just wait to election year or when it's time to re-up. Oh, let me get in here. Okay, I know I didn't do it the first time, but this time I'm really going to do it.
Right. Hey girl. Yeah, about them last 3 years.
Right, let's
That was
just,
bad. I'm just, you know
yeah,
what? We're not even gonna look at that. But this year,
I
I
promise.
promise. Now that it's time for you to reelect me, nah, that's gotta happen on a daily.
Well, see, and then the other part of that too is we play the part. We I put the dress on, you gave me the ring, you had the tuxedo, we went to the marriage, we went to the wedding, we had the honeymoon, we did all this, we bought the house, we had the kids, and then what happened?
Then I can do what I want to do. I don't got to listen to the constituency. I don't have to sit there and I don't care how you want me to vote.
We
I'm
didn't
gonna do what I want to do.
exactly, we didn't follow through with anything that we said that we were going to do.
So we got to avoid that. You want a good candidate. Right now, you're voting in your local and national elections. You want a great candidate that you're going to be able to pay attention to, that you're going to be proud to say that they represent you. You have to make sure that your spouse is proud of you and your representation of your relationship.
And it's so funny you say that too because we are representatives of each other. We have the same last name. When people go out, when they see me, I make sure that I conduct myself in a way in which Lovey would be proud, or not anything to, how they say, you don't be bringing shame to the name of
To the
whomever.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or back in the day, you embarrass the household or you shame the name because you acted a certain kind of way. I make sure that I'm representing my husband. My husband makes sure that he's representing me. We're not in any compromising positions or anything like that because the
Except
last
when we're
thing,
in Las Vegas. There's lots of
how is that?
compromising positions in Las
Oh my
Vegas.
gosh. Okay, you see, so silly. But I'm making sure that I'm upholding my end of the bargain because I don't want to ever do anything that's going to bring shame or bring hurt to you. And the same thing, that's part of the selecting the candidate. That's part of making sure you're re-upping the vote because you're making sure that you're walking that straight line.
Mhm.
You're not just out here, oh, I'm in here now, I'm finna be, doing stuff like that.
No, I agree. And it's one of those things that, anyway, we just want everybody to really stay.
So anyway.
No, no, no. I mean, we just want everybody to stay, to really start thinking about that. You know, you've been propositioned and you've been elected. You were chosen. That's all an election really is being chosen.
Mm.
And would you vote for you? Would your
Mm.
spouse vote for you again? And would you vote for your spouse? And ask yourself honestly, if you can honestly ask yourself, would I vote for my spouse if I had to choose him or had to choose her again?
Mm.
And if the answer is like, if there's like a little bit of a pause,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, that's a topic for discussion.
Anything outside of absolutely is a topic for discussion.
That's true. We tell our kids and we talk to each other and we say all the time that there's the hell yeah response. Anytime you're faced with doing something, somebody approaches you with an opportunity or some type of endeavor or a task or what have you, and if your response is anything but hell yeah, I want to do that, then the answer is no. Because then it's being like, I don't know, I'll do it. Because then it's out of obligation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want your relationship or your marriage to become one of obligation. Because sometimes, let's face it, we've got some politicians that are being voted in out of obligation to a particular party, or that's just the way it's always been, or absolute apathy or laziness because it's like, I just checked that name because I don't feel like researching the next one. Look, you don't want to get voted out of your position as spouse.
Right. That part.
So do what you need to do to seek reelection every single day and have that discussion about,
Hmm.
could I be voted out? Let's have that conversation. What am I doing that will cause you to not vote for me as your spouse?
What do you do that would not? No, I'm just
I
playing. I'm just
didn't
kidding.
mean right now on air that you would ask me that. No, go
No,
ahead.
but I mean that's a valid point because I think sometimes we there may be you get too comfortable and you think that, well, shoot, like I said, I'm in here now and I'm not, I ain't finna do all that. I ain't gonna be. We just gonna be like, she just better be happy that or he just better be glad I did this or whatever. It should never be like just be happy that I'm here
Let's keep it real
or
because that
just be happy
conversation,
that I showed up or I mean that is the quickest way to be up for reelection. That is the quickest way for them to have remorse that they even said I do. Who wants to be in a relationship that they're remorseful of? I mean, how many people have we elected and you be like, shouldn't have did that, or that was a bad call, or whatever.
how
And that goes in
many people
some.
have you dated?
I was about to say, that's the same as in relationships. You be like, I knew that something was off, but I didn't listen to my inner, and I just anyway. I don't want to have remorse about anything that we have going on between us.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
But then on the flip side too, if there is something that needs to be fixed, um, you're up for reelection or whatever, and you're sincere in your, I really want to fix this and I really want to make this work and I'm going to give it my all and I'm going to do XYZ and blah blah blah. Make sure you do that because there are times when we don't always get it right. We don't come out, hitting home runs in marriage all the time. We may hit a home run every blue moon, but if we're working on our batting swing, then we can up the chances that we're going to get more home runs. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Same thing in your marriage.
That's so true. And again, to go back to politics, there's a lot of times that we have um, officials that we are very endeared to, but you don't agree with every one of their decisions.
Hmm.
You don't. Look, hey, there's presidents that I absolutely adored, but didn't agree with 100% across the board. Majority, maybe. There's presidents that I didn't even like, but I agree with some of their decisions.
Yeah.
So it can go all these different ways. So we say all of this to ask you today, have you voted for your marriage? Have you? And if you haven't voted for your marriage recently, ask yourself, would you vote for your spouse? Would you vote for your marriage? And have those conversations, whether they're difficult ones or fun ones, have those conversations as to whether or not, you know what, I need to do what I need to do to get reelected.
Hmm. That's a good one. I mean, I like that to ask the question, would you vote for me again? Would you accept me again as your spouse? Well, would I pass the test as far as you saying yes to me again?
Absolutely.
Or would you just be like, I can't do this?
Hey, so
I
it's been
promise.
fun. And we hope that you got the result that you were looking for with the national and the local elections. But I can tell you one thing that I will vote for every single time.
Me?
Well, yes, you.
Oh, okay.
And the I can.
Oh.
The couples I can. We every single episode we finish with two things. The I can, where we actually take a look at these affirmations. There's 40 different affirmations in every single one of the I cans. You can see it right here in the background, kind of pointing to it in the background. But we also pull out these little affirmations that say something on there. So mine says, I can take my partner on a date, and I can gladly say that we just got back from a date to Las Vegas.
That doesn't
That
mean
doesn't count.
no. It says I can. That doesn't mean I should have or
So,
past tense.
so dun 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 dun.
This is mine.
But you can't read because your fingers don't. What's it say?
I can tell my partner how much I love him. I love you so much.
See, look at that. She put it back in there. She's supposed to
Oh,
put it in the little bag
sorry.
because
Okay.
she's gonna pull that one
I
again.
want you to leave that out because I want to go on another date.
Okay, I got you covered. So maybe not this week, but there's going to be another date. All right. And the other thing that we finish with is 8 minutes and 46 seconds of silence on the audio
For social
podcast for
justice.
social
Hmm.
justice. What we want to do is, we ask everyone to take those 8 minutes and 46 seconds and reflect on what you're doing to be a better citizen, a better individual in your community, that you can contribute to the solutions that you would like to see. We always say that people always say they want solutions, they want change. Well, it's up to each and every one of us to be the change that we're seeking.
That's right. There are a lot of people that are hurting right now, and it's up to us to make sure that we try and be better people. Not just try, but just be better people, heartfelt better people, you know. Be-
Absolutely. Absolutely. So take time to reflect, think about how you can be a better person, a better version of you, how you can contribute in a positive manner to your community in the next 8 minutes and 46 seconds,
But don't forget to vote.
if you haven't already, and vote for your marriage.
That's right. That's
So,
what I was talking about, babe.
okay, I didn't know. So, until the next time, be blessed.
Bye bye.